there. In this video, we're going to take a look at finding the equation of the line perpendicular to the line y equals 1/3 x minus 4, but we want our new line to pass through the point -1, 2. And then we've being asked to write this line in 3 different forms. So let's take a look. The first thing we need to do is to examine the slope of y equals 1/3 x minus 4. Well, because it's y equals, we can easily pick out the slope there in front of the x because we know that y equals mx plus b form tells us the slope is right there in front of x when we have y equals. So we've got our slope of 1/3. Now, to get a slope perpendicular, you've got 2 things you got to do. First of all, you got to change the sign. So because our 1/3 was positive, I know my new slope is going to be negative. And then you've got to take your slope of 1/3 and flip it. So instead of 1/3, now you've got 3/1. And so now my perpendicular slope is -3. This is the slope we're going to be working with to write our equation of our line. So we'll use that for m equals, in the formula y equals mx plus b. So I'm substituting in -3 for m in my y equals mx plus b form. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to use the point -1, 2. -1's going in for x, 2's going in for y, and our goal here is then to find the b value. So my equation, when I substitute 2 for y, -1 for x, I've got 2 equals 3 plus b, and b would be -1. So when I make my substitution now, I'm going to put -1 in for b. My equation becomes y equals -3x plus -1. Remember, m was -3, and we found b to be -1. This is my slope-intercept form. All right, now let's turn our attention to finding the point slope form of this line. So remember, we looked at the equation y equals 1/3 x minus 4. We said the slope is 1/3, so we know the perpendicular slope is -3. So to do point slope, now I'm going to use the slope of -3 and that point -1, 2. So remember, the -1's going in for x1, the 2 is going in for y1. So that our equation will look something like y minus 2 equals -3x, -3 parentheses x plus 1. Remember, inside that parentheses, it's x minus x1, but our x1 was -1. So x minus a -1 actually gives us the x plus 1 here. And that now is our point slope version of this line. All right, the last form we need is the standard form. In order to get standard form, it's easiest if you start with the slope-intercept form and you want to get all the x's and y's on one side. So we're going to take our -3x and we're going to add it to both sides of the equation, and that's in hopes of getting the x and the y on the left side of the equation. You'll notice then that I have 3x plus y equals -1. Remember, standard form has x and y on both sides of the equation, no fractions or decimals, and the number in front of x has to be positive. So you've got 3 things that need to happen in order for you to have the standard form of a line. Now, just a reminder, all 3 of these equations are the exact same line. They're just in different forms: the slope-intercept form, the point slope form, and then the standard form of line.